you're going to be much more motivated to do it. If you believe there's no chance of succeeding, then you're not going to put much energy into it. If you believe it's hopeless, it doesn't matter what I do, the environment's all going wrong anyway, you won't take the actions you want to take. So concentrate on what you can do. Concentrate on the difference you can make to your community. And think big, think of the wider picture. It's not just about you saving a bit of plastic. It's not just about you using slightly less petrol. It's about the wider picture. It's about the environment. It's about the world as a whole. It's about being a good citizen. And when we think in those big terms, people are more motivated to do the right thing. Now, another key concept here is what we call secondary benefits. Some people, like corporations, may not necessarily want to do much for the environment. It may not be important to them. It might be, it might not be. But there are a lot of secondary benefits that you can promote to them. You can say, well, if you're environmental, your customers will be impressed. Corporate social responsibility is a big issue now. But they've also shown that employees are very motivated. People love to work for ethical companies. If people think their company is behaving well, they will work harder. They'll be proud of who they work for. They'll give 100% effort. So again, these secondary benefits can be very important when promoting positivity. Okay, the next one is persevere intelligently. What if you want to do something for the environment? That's all very well. You might be motivated. But do you actually know what to do? What is the right thing to do? We need to know what works. We need to be aware of facts. Now, for example, in the United Kingdom, there's an organisation called the Carbon Trust. And the Carbon Trust has a website where you can go online, you can put in the details of your vehicle, the details of your house, the details of whether you have any pets, the details of where you go on holiday, and it will work out your carbon footprint for you. So being aware of the facts, being aware of what works. For example, is it better for me? I live 10 miles from the nearest recycling centre. So is it better for me to go and recycle my plastic and drive a 20-mile round trip? Or is it better for me just to throw it in the trash? Well, tools like this can help you make decisions, can help you make the right, informed environmental decisions. And a key concept here is monitoring progress. Often when you ask people how environmental they are, or in my case, stuff I've talked about earlier, how healthy they are, they're not sure. They're not sure what percentage they recycled. They're not sure how many items with packaging they bought. They're not sure how many miles they travelled in their car. And keeping a record of things really, really helps. So again, monitoring your progress is one thing over time that can be valuable. And the final principle of success is connecting with others. Again, people who can help you, people you can learn from, people you can mentor. Now, this can be formal organisations like, for example, Greenpeace, Friends of the Earth, those people, Carbon Trust I've mentioned before, who are very willing to help people when they undertake environmental projects or audits of their own behaviour. Supportive networks. There's a lot of evidence that people behave very much like their friends behave, family and friends. So again, if we look at both health and the environment, again, this is using United Kingdom data, but people are very heavily influenced by their children now. And often it's the children in the house who learn about the environment at school, who learn about health issues at school, who are influencing their parents. And the final key concept is values. You may remember the first presentation of the day. We were talking about how difficult it is to change values, how much easier it is to change behaviour. So what if somebody has values that do not care about the environment? What if they don't care about the environment? Well, an issue then is to work out what they do care about and try to change their behaviour based on this. And in the United States, there's a movement called the Prius Patriots. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard of the Prius Patriots, but the Prius Patriots are people who drive Priuses, not because they care about the environment at all, necessarily. In fact, they don't, because they've been singled out as not doing so. They drive these things because they believe America shouldn't be so dependent on oil for political and terrorist reasons. And people have been able to stop them using so much gas by arguing that it's in America's national security not to use gas. So they haven't challenged their views on the environment at all. They've simply changed their behaviour by connecting with a value, in other words, patriotism, that they already had, and stopped them using so much gas based on that idea. So, quick reminder, 5 key principles of success, we call them. Perhaps social behaviour is a better word in this context. But get people to take responsibility. Show them the immediate effects of what's happening. Persuade people to set goals. Set your own goals. Be positive. Concentrate not on what you can't do, but what we can. And persevere in an intelligent way. Once you know what you want to achieve, work out how to achieve it. Get the knowledge you need. Use the tools you can use. And finally, connect with others who may be able to help you. If you want to get in touch with me, please do have a look at my website, patrickwjordan.net. My contact is info@patrickwjordan.net. And don't forget the W, whatever you do, because there's a guy called Patrick Jordan who gets very angry with me, so he gets a lot of mails for me. But that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions, any remarks, any comments? Start with gentlemen's.
Uģis Krūmiņš, GCI Latvija. You mentioned that
Uģis Krūmiņš, GCI Latvija. Jūs minējāt, ka šo te mērķu nospraušana
losing weight, is this reducing smallest or something negatively made goals will get a positive effect?
Yeah, it's an interesting question. I think, again, if we look at what the benefits are, it will depend on somebody's value system. So to some person, using less packaging and the direct environmental benefit of that may be seen as a positive, just because that's their values. For another person, it might be seen on the surface of things as being a negative, because, well, actually, packaging to them is luxury, and doing away with it is making their life a little less luxurious. So again, I think if we're then trying to promote environmental issues, we need to frame the goal in a different way, like money saving, or, in the case of the United Kingdom, they're now having a scheme where, in some areas where you pay more money, the more trash you throw away. So again, there's a direct incentive there. I mean, again, weight, I suppose, most people who go on diets or exercise are kind of hoping to lose weight, so they would probably see that as a positive. But coming back to the whole thing about outcome versus process goals, I mean, losing weight is one of those outcome goals, but the process of going to the gym 3 times a week is a process goal, which may take more time. So again, mixing and matching these things to keep the motivation up, I think is key here.
More questions? Comments? Can I ask you if anywhere, I have a feeling in Latvia, for example, taking this recycling thing we were discussing,